Wow, I think it was fantastic. I think I really gave a really good overview of the project itself. But this panel is very much about a bit of a Q&A really, and maybe going into a bit more detail and asking some of those tough questions, maybe the bits that went well, the bits that didn't go so well, and just overall get people's reflections really of the project itself. So let's do some introductions first. So we have met Kerry on the end there, from Refresh. I'm going to ask you to put your hand up if I mention your name, but I think we know Jessica Teeth here, yes. So you're a third year film student here at the University of Lincoln, and been the project lead. Yeah. We've got Ellie Farley, creative, where we've met just briefly, creative writing MA student, also here at the university. Amelia Reeve from Lincoln College, who's studying a foundation degree or diploma in art and design, is that right? With a specialist in costume design. Fantastic. And Jade King, also MA in creative writing here at the University of Lincoln. So some great students here who's going to talk us through their experiences on the project. So let's start with Kerry though first. So Kerry, I've got a key question for you. So you've obviously recently completed Project Fashion Fix, and I know we've had many conversations, and I would probably say, and her family might agree, she dedicated quite a lot of time, didn't she, to this particular project. And so it ran for 2 months, didn't it? From March through to the beginning of May. Yeah. Why did you personally decide to start the project? I know you briefly gave us a little bit before the film started, but you know, what's your passion? What's the reason for this project?
It was a bit of a burning desire. You know, it was a passion project that I've just had to do it. I don't know, something I just felt like I had to do it. It's such an important subject area, and I think for me it's important to stress that it's about fashion and sustainability, but it's about climate change really. You know, fashion is a very tangible subject area that we can all relate to, and if we start having the conversations about fashion, and we start talking about the recycling and what our clothes are made from, and about who makes them, the people on the other side of the world, you know, actually it relates to everything that we start talking about, and it links into things like plastic and waste and all the things that we're dealing with every day, every single day. And I just felt it was really important, and I really, you know, as I kept stressing that, you know, me on my own, I'm a nobody, I don't even work for a company, you know, but I knew that I had something special to give, I suppose. I knew I had this message to put out, and I also knew that I got on well with the students. I knew they were really creative and talented, and I just thought we'd be a good fit, and I just felt I had to do it. You know, it's that simple as that really.
And it is a really important message, and perhaps one that I think we haven't been delivering, particularly here in Lincoln. And so I think you've really started a conversation now around this. So well done to that. Just a couple of the students then. So I'm going to ask Jessica first. Obviously, been a lead on the project. So what made you want to be part of this project?
Well, I made a short documentary film about sustainable fashion in my second year. And it was only 5 minutes long, but I really enjoyed it. And I realised it was kind of like a passion project for me. And then I met Kerry, and we had a conversation, and we realised our views just aligned very well, and I really enjoyed Kerry's passion and enthusiasm, and I just felt like if I didn't do it, I'd be stupid, to be honest.
And Ellie, also, you know, creative writing. What made you want to be a part of the project?
Initially, it was sort of one of our tutors that kind of brought us into it, and we went along to the first meeting, and it was like, okay, this could be kind of cool. But again, like you said, it was your passion that really got through, and we were like, yeah, we want to do something now. Like, this actually seems really exciting. And I guess that was sort of what made the cog start turning, and sort of combining creative writing with the fashion element. It was just something I hadn't really considered doing before, and so sort of the first meeting opened my eyes a bit, and I was like, oh, I can do so much more. So yeah, it's kind of where it...
Excellent. And Jade, what did you personally get from the project? What did you gain from the project?
Ooh, I think apart from a lot of factual information, like going into it, I've always been quite interested in sustainability and environmental issues. I didn't realise how much of a contributor it was towards climate change. Like, it's one of the main factors. But aside from facts, just the sense of community, collaborating with that many different people in different disciplines was actually really beneficial I think.
I think you've really shown how you can bring all these different skill sets, passions together to really collaborate. And you're absolutely right. When you meet Kerry, and she's just got a passion, and you just can't say no. I know that from experience as well. So it really is. It is that passion that you've been able to bring people together and really collaborate. So what about you, Amelia? Do you what did you gain from the project?
I think it was mainly an understanding of how my projects and my textiles-based practice affects the world and how I can change the way I live my life and how I make art for the better.
So really wanted to use your skills and talent as well for better. That's brilliant. So Kerry, what did you want the project to ultimately achieve, and did it do it?
I just wanted it to start people thinking about things a bit differently and to make a bit of an impact. And yes, it did. Yes, it did. It's worked really well. Because as I said before, we had 60 students that signed up. So there were 60 students that were kind of on the book, so to speak, that would come to the lectures. They didn't come to not every student came to every lecture, but they all, I would email them all, keeping everyone in the loop. And so they were like engaged, and someone, they could do as much or as little as they wanted. But then it's about the people that they're talking to. So it's about if they're communicating with their lecturers or their peers, their families. It's about having those little conversations. So and then me talking to people, like you say. I've been doing lots of talking and communicating with lots of different people. So it's definitely opened up conversations, and I hope kind of shown a different way of working that's possible, really. So that was what I wanted to achieve, and I think we've definitely started, haven't we? We've definitely started.
Definitely opened up some conversations, and as somebody who works in a behaviour change agency, I'm always really interested in how it's changed behaviours. So everyone in the room here, have you done one thing differently? Have you changed any behaviours? Anyone want to put their hands up? Anything, change your attitude even towards fashion, fast fashion? Yeah, are we all, how have you changed?
I got given a book on sustainable fashion a while ago for my birthday, and I actually ended up reading it.
Right, brilliant. Excellent, well done. Anyone else? Yes.
I was discussing all of the things were going on, but I'm part of the family, so I'm biased. For me personally, after COVID, when all the shops were closed, and I have been a shopaholic in my life, my family will agree with me, I decided that I would look at my wardrobe and I would actually shop in my wardrobe. And I started to say this to other friends, and they'd say, "Oh, is that new?" And I go, "No, it's from my wardrobe." From other friends beginning to think, yes, I can actually find things in my wardrobe that I didn't wear. And in COVID, we didn't wear many clothes, did we? We wore tracksuits and jeans. So for me, it made me think, stop buying. Not that I have completely, but I'm better than I was.
So you've started the conversations, we can see people's behaviours and attitudes changing, which is absolutely fantastic. Can I ask the students then, how was it balancing the project alongside your university work? So obviously this is a passion project that's on the side really. Was it easy, or have you really struggled with some of that?
I think it's hard when you're so passionate about something, because you want to invest all of your time into that one thing, but everything else kind of has to start getting cut into smaller chunks. But I would say, again, that sense of community and exercising your talents feeds back into your degree. So it is beneficial in a lot of ways.
They kind of interwoven a lot. Like, I didn't expect it to, and yet I found that a lot of my university work was sort of taking elements of the project anyway, and then parts that I was learning from the university wove itself into the work for the project. So it ended up being, first of all, separate, and then very slowly just merging, which made it easier to balance the two, because it just ended up being one. But no, it first of all was difficult, but then I think it became just so easy, because like you say, it was a passion project, we wanted to do it. So it didn't feel like extra work, it just felt like something I wanted to do.
Yeah, you found a way, and something I'm a big advocate for, particularly the work we do in behaviour change, is that you have to have a mixture of skill sets. One skill set alone isn't going to, as you said at the beginning, Kerry. You know, there's people from different schools across the university that have worked together with different courses and so on. So how have you found working with other people from different schools, different topic areas, subjects, degree areas? How has that been?
Enriching.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, it's been really nice, not only on the kind of practical side of things, but the social side of things, because I think that is something that's, I don't want to say lacking, but slightly lacking at this university is, and maybe universities in general, that social communication between disciplines. There's quite a lot within, I would say, within our own discipline.
Yeah, I
But
think it's
not
getting
outside.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's been a really good experience just to network in Lincoln.
And also to showcase the work side by side as well, because I feel like it's been getting better in recent years showcasing the work of students in different disciplines, but seeing it, especially at the exhibition, seeing it all side by side was just really cool, because we all had the same purpose, but we all came from such different ways of thinking, and it all just worked. And I think that was just really, really cool. And it's also just nice to meet different people from, after being here for almost 4 years now, it's been nice to be like, oh, things. But yeah, I think it was just really interesting to see us all make a final result.
Yeah, just a fantastic example of collaboration right across the spectrum, isn't it, really? Fantastic. Bringing all those skills together. So what positives would you take away from this sort of way of working? Has anyone got any views on that?
I mean, it's been covered already, but meeting new people, definitely. I think COVID, for a lot of us as students, took away the opportunity to meet, even meet people on our course, let alone from other courses. So that for me has been one of my favourite parts of the project, and definitely is a positive of working with other people and collaborating, is you make new friends. So yeah.
I don't think there's been a single part I've been like, ugh, that was project. It's a whole thing, just like from start to finish. I mean, not even finish, because it kind of just keeps going on. But it's just been really nice. In the nicest way, it's just been really nice to do. And it kind of made me feel like I had a purpose when I was making something that actually came, like it had an audience, it had a meaning behind it, and it was just really nice. More than nice, but just nice feels just the right way to say it. So yeah.
Yeah. And has the knowledge overall from the project really changed the way that you think? I mean, we've already asked people whether it's changed their way they think, perhaps how they buy as well. I mean, you personally, has it made a difference in your own lives?
I would say so, yeah. Definitely, I think the first 2 weeks had the biggest impact on me, the sort of human side of the industry, which I think is unfortunately hidden quite a lot in Western media. So I think that's changed my outlook, not only on the clothes I purchased, but the clothes I already own. They feel a lot more valuable to me now, I think.
I think I'm definitely the same. It's throughout I've started thinking a lot more about myself and the way I buy and changing things like that, and the way I use fabrics, and just learning more and changing from it.
Brilliant. And are any of you looking to go in this particular path in terms of your career and what you want to do? Is this really something that's really ignited something in you might want to think about going forwards?
That's a big question.
It is in general.
No.
It's definitely not like it's open doors, I guess I'd
Yeah.
say. Which is again for a student is like an overwhelming thing, because you're just like, doors are everywhere. But it's definitely been like, oh, that's an extra option that I can take. So I think it has, I guess, motivated me. If I wanted to go into that area, I would definitely be pulled towards. If the opportunity presented itself, I would be like, yeah, that's something I want to do.
I think even if I didn't go into fashion specifically, I would definitely evaluate the sustainability of the companies I worked for. So it doesn't necessarily have to be within that sort of niche of, fashion specifically. It's just more generally change the way that I view who I might or might not be employed by.
It matters, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It really matters, doesn't it?
And
Excellent.
can I just add, the whole networking thing, I know that you students have met each other, but you've also met people from outside of this area, so you've been introduced to people, or people have spoken to you about things, so people are now aware of the work you've done, you've had a chance to showcase, so it's actually quite important in that respect that you don't actually know how it'll impact you, from here on. So
Also just a project in general, seeing how you sort of set it up and manage to create events. It's been very sort of being like, oh, I could make events. Like it's you as a person has been very good at motivational, like It's just been very good in terms of like sustainability as well, but also just seeing an event like from like seed to like the end has been really eye-opening as well.
Yeah. Is it great to be part of events again as well after COVID? Really, I mean, I think we've really missed events actually. So yeah, well done on doing that. So a couple of final thoughts from you, Kerry. I mean, I've got a couple of personal questions. The first one is, is there anything you would have done differently, or you would have liked to have done if you had the opportunity? Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I think the timing it limited me because I only started having the thoughts that I could do it during the COP26 week, that was in November, and then I started having those conversations. I wanted it to finish during Fashion Revolution week, so that was at the end of April, and then we had Christmas and Easter in between, so we were limited on time. I had this vision, as Ellie said, and I managed to do most of the things. If I'd had, I would have wanted to bring more people in, without a doubt, because I think more people would have enjoyed it, and there'd have been more talents that could have been showcased. But really, in the timescale we had, not really. I mean, there's a few little things that we didn't manage to achieve that were sidelined, but the things we did, we put our all in and we pulled them off. So really, I mean, it was pretty, pretty.
I think you did a fantastic job in a very short time frame, hardly any budget, and really lots of people's will, and you found where there's a will, there's a way, that's for sure. So, big question, is there going to be Project 2023? Like, what's next? What do you want to do now? Welsh Oyster?
Looking at my husband over there who's well, I'm having lots of conversations is all I'll say, Kelly. As you can see, it's been a really good project, and it's shown that it's a really interesting, and I think it's a very timely way of working. I'm under no illusions that everybody's been wanting this kind of way of working, especially coming out of COVID. But with all the social media and everything, there's the platforms there. We've got the talents within Lincoln. Lincoln itself is it's big enough that they've got the infrastructure and the people within it, but it's small enough that I've been able to network across it. And so I shall carry on having the conversations, and I've been dangled carrots of support going forward, which I shall talk about. And I like to think I've got students that are still within the university system that would like to work with me moving forward. So yeah, watch this space, I'd say. But yes, I'm hoping for something more.
Definitely watch this space. Well, I just want to say thank you. You've done a fantastic job, all of you and everybody that's